Don't
What's
fuck
going
it.
on? Yeah, thank you, fellas.
You're in limbo.
Treason, treason, bang 'em in the tower. Reason, reason, 'cause I own the power. Treason, treason, make 'em all understand. Reason, reason, 'cause I own the fucking land.
Yeah, dude.
All right, guys, it's Wednesday, I think. Yeah, Wednesday. I got Winston Cook and JD Eicher. Wow, the best looking podcast duo in the game right now. Winston's going to take a break from fucking shit talking kids to talk to me for a minute, so it's going to be good. JD's here again. Thank you, JD.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, man. Yeah, thank you for having me.
Of course, man. Of course. I was listening to your album Crowd Pleaser. It's fucking good, man. It's real good.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that. It was kind of a beast to record. That I'm glad it turned out the way it did. So thank you.
I bet. Yeah, it was good.
Yeah, man, Sam, I got to listen to some tunes today, and I'm pumped, man. You got a great voice. It's like
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, man. Thank you so much.
You guys should do a fucfucking duet, you know?
Are you ready? Have you prepared anything?
No.
Yeah, but
right now.
I haven't prepared. I wasn't ready for that.
God damn it. Should have told them next
Where
time.
my crap is. So, dude, yeah, what was the bear about? Was it like interesting, just getting it all together, or weird recording situation, or what was the
whole thing? The whole thing, really. Like I had recorded. I mean, I had recorded before, so that wasn't the hard part. But just kind of putting the whole project together and trying to keep it kind of coherent as one project, which kind of wasn't really the goal anyway. But I still wanted to make it coherent and kind of have it flow as one piece of work. So that was tough, and kind of having to bring in all the instruments and figure all that out and mix it all together. Because before I'd only done kind of like real kind of acoustic, simple type of songs, simple arrangements, like just like acoustic guitar and my voice, maybe some backup vocals. But for this one, I had to do drums and electric guitar and some keys as well. And so it was a lot to put into a project, but it was a really cool experience, man. But basically, it's just everything. Having to put everything in it was just a lot to do, especially as one person. It was tough. So
did you end up playing everything too?
No, I had a guy play drums and bass, and he did lead guitar on one of the songs as well. And then I did the rest. So I don't know how to play drums or bass, so I definitely had him do that for me.
There's so many shitty bass players out there that I think it's probably just like the easiest thing ever. Bass players right there.
It might be. I've never given it a shot.
Don't give them too much credit, guys. They'll start
You're just
believing
taking an
in
opportunity
themselves.
to just totally dish on all
I
bass.
just got to get one in there because I don't even know why I started doing it, but I just shit on bass players as often as I can. That's it.
Man,
It's nothing personal. They've never harmed me or anything.
Right.
So
I can't blame you, man.
They're just not that great, is all I'm saying.
Yeah. Well, the guy who was on my album, he played.
Well, he was fine. He's fine.
He played everything. I mean, I don't. He was just the jack of all trades. Like, he started coming in just doing drums, and then
he's a drummer first, and then he decided I can probably fucking figure bass out.
I think so. I don't know. I mean, but he played drums first for me, and then he was like, I can play bass too, and I was like, all right. And then he did that, and I was like, damn. And then he's like, I play guitar too, and then he just just absolutely shredded on guitar. So it was just he was cute. He was good. He was kind of a heaven sent for that album for sure.
What was he the best at?
I think he was the best at electric guitar, which which he said was like his third best. Like that wasn't like I don't know what he considered himself to be the best at, but he was good at all.
Probably drums.
Yeah, it probably was. But I mean, he was just so good at everything. I mean, he was kind of he was a metalhead too. Nice. So he was he's very technical at everything he did, and just it was pretty just perfect, honestly. I mean, he's just like he would do like a lick or something. He's like, oh, I messed up on that. I'm like, where? Like, where'd you mess up? I didn't even. It sounds great, man. You can cut like 50 of those notes and it'd still be great. Like he was something else, man.
That's a good situation if you feel like it was good. Like if you're the artist and you're feeling good about it, and he's wanting to go back. That's pretty cool.
It was very cool. It's better than the opposite. Just having some guy just lay it down and then be like, oh, that's what you get. Yeah, he really wanted. Yeah, he wanted to make it. He wanted to make it good. So that was awesome.
That's awesome. It probably, in a way, I mean, it makes sense, I guess, if he can play everything, to have him do a couple things, just because, you know, like if he knows the kick pattern on the drum part, so when he plays bass, he's going to be able to lock in a lot easier, and kind of knows
Exactly.
what each musician, so to speak, was thinking. So it's kind of, yeah, makes sense.
That's true. I didn't think about that. He was definitely fitting everything into his own kind of composition, as far as like, you know, doing the bass line and the drum parts and things like that. So I didn't even think about that. That's cool, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's you know what? In a way, he kind of hijacked your whole thing.
He didn't write them though. He didn't write them. I wrote the songs.
Okay, all right. So
You got that.
I got that. That's all that matters, right?
my legal team will have your back if anything ever goes sideways. Just so you know. It's
Thank
actually
you.
JD. He's my attorney. It's fine.
Here at Limbocast, we make sure
Yeah.
that your guest is covered in perpetuity, and we grandfather you in. So anything you've done, and it doesn't just have to be musical, we'll cover you. But we're going to need full disclosure, so stay on after the podcast is over. We'll kind of transition to a business call.
Oh, all right. You rehearsed that, didn't you?
No.
I have it written on the wall.
Yeah.
Just
Yes.
these exact moments.
Perfect. It was perfect. It finally worked out. This was your time to shine. It's like, yes.
Yeah, that was great.
Wow.
That was good.
Had this thing up here for forever, and finally we got a criminal on our hands. So
You're gonna have to write a non-disclosure act. Is that what it is? File a
I think so.
non-disclosure.
Something like that.
San
Yeah.
Diego.
There you go. That's good. Well, I think my favorite song on that album is Amber Haze,
Yeah, man, that was a cool one.
Suburban
really
Light,
cool.
because you have that part where you're singing, like when you're behind the wheel, I'm a real crowd, please. I love
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
First time
Yeah.
I heard that song, actually, I was like, okay, yeah, this was good. That's something me want to talk to you. So there you go.
Yeah, no, I remember the email. I was like, yeah, he must have listened to Amber Hayes. No, that was probably my favorite one to make. Because most notably, because I don't know if you can hear it in the song, but I played the French horn like for that particular song.
That was you. You played.
Yeah, I played like I made it into like 4 parts and made like a whole like little like horn quartet kind of. You know, and then so I got to put that in the song along with the strings and make it this real like big cinematic song that I'll probably never be able to recreate live unless I have a giant band behind me. But it was a cool thing to do regardless.
Yeah.
So that was really.
Yeah, it's great, but I think, you know, like you said, going for the cinematic thing live, like it's nice sometimes to just have you and your fucking acoustic live and just give somebody a stripped down version, you know. I like
That's
that.
true. Yeah, that's true, and that's my particular. I mean, mostly that's what my sets are. You know, just acoustic sets up until recently, and then I got like an electric guitar now, and it's kind of got like a whole like setup now, which is kind of cool. But for the most part, it's acoustic, kind of like real stripped down sets because it's only me. You know, I only have so many arms and legs to put into one set. So
that's kind of cool though. I mean, you know, people hear the song as the song, bare bones, and then if they, you know, they grab the CD or check out online, they can kind of hear, you know, the rest of the stuff you were hearing. You know, it's kind of cool.
That's the idea. Yeah, that's the idea. Yeah.
Is that what you do with your stuff too, JD? You just strip it right down. Well, you have a band. You have a band with you, but
I do, but it is that way a lot. You know, I'm sure once it feels that way, the record's like you get to do it the way, the ideal way. And then, sometimes I'm solo, sometimes with a band, but you almost never get every part. Cause like, even if you're tracking with like a 4-piece band, you're still going to have like 3 or 4 guitar parts that aren't, you know, so you kind of sacrifice something live. So
that's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's true. Yeah.
Awesome.
Dude, tell us about, or go ahead.
No, you got it.
Okay. All right. I was just tell me about this the eye makeup in your photos.
Yes.
It's interesting.
The album artwork.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That was all credit goes to my mom because I kind of just told her what I wanted. I was like, I want like a diamond on my eye, make it look cool, and she's like, okay, all right. And she, you know, she did it up and. Just, I mean, it was specifically for the album. I don't. It's not like I walk around with that. But
it's actually tattooed onto his face, and you had to.
Yeah, no, that would be that's a lot of commitment.
Expensive makeup tonight, you know.
Yeah.
If you look close, JD has a teardrop under each eye. It's just cool.
Yeah, it is cool. Yeah, I get a lot of people that kind of see that and they're like, "Oh, do you like clowns?" And it's like, well, I wasn't really going for a clown thing, but no, I don't like clowns at all.
But no.
But that was I don't know, that was interesting. That was kind of like a spur of the moment, like I kind of want this. So I just think that looks good. And then it turned out pretty well. I was hoping the idea was kind of like, I guess in a way, I was kind of going towards like a clown thing, but almost more like a showman type of thing, kind of like a really like, tired, kind of bummed out, exhausted showman, which is kind of like why I was called crowd pleaser.
Yeah, I was
I
going to say
basically,
that makes sense.
Yeah,
it was kind of
that's a cool way of
yeah.
doing that without it being hokey.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was kind of that's the idea of the album really is I'm writing a lot of the songs are so different. That was kind of by design. I wanted to show that I could write a bunch of different songs and have them try to fit in as many genres as possible. Almost looks kind of like a sampler to everybody. But I don't know. I kind of got tired of people just saying like, oh, you should play this type of music, or you should play this type of music, and then me myself not even really knowing what type of music I'm really good at or what type of genre I would fit into. So at that point, it's like, screw it. I'm just going to do a little bit of everything and see what happens. So that's kind of the idea.
But and then when you put it like that, crowd pleaser kind of works with that.
Mm-hmm.
With that.
Yeah, that's good.
Totally.
Sure.
That's good, man.
That's cool. Love and Thieves was a good song too. I checked that. They're all good. Like I don't mean like, well, this one sucked, but these ones were good. Like the whole thing is good, man. It's really
thanks, man.
Real good. Yeah.
I appreciate it. I'm glad you like Love and Thieves. That's actually that's kind of a.
That's a cool story.
Yeah,
it's kind of the girl. I got that.
Oh, I totally made that one up.
Okay,
like 100%.
You weren't sticking around with. Yeah, okay.
No. Yeah, that was weird. I think it actually kind of started out. That's an older song. Like, I mean, in the relative to what I've been doing, that was one of the first songs I actually wrote. And it started out as kind of like a writing exercise because I was kind of like still getting into songwriting and I was trying to figure out how I could write songs and things of that nature. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna write like a random story, like a 1-page little story, and just kind of write it out, and then I'm gonna turn that into a song. So that was like really just like one little like writing exercise I did. So I wrote like the entire like story that had a lot more details in it, obviously, because it was a story, and then I took bits and pieces from that and try to make it into a song. And yeah, it was that Love and Thieves came out, and that was really cool because I had only played that acoustically. Like I had never even like that really just. We did all electric and like added everything in there once I got to the studio. So that was a cool thing too, because I had never really like thought about what it would sound like in studio. So once I got there, I was like, let's just change it up and just make it all electric, add in some piano and whatever. So that was a cool process. Same with Amber Hayes. I had no idea how that was gonna turn out. I didn't even know that I was gonna have French horns in it until like
that's
probably like a week before. Yeah, that was the most rewarding experience. That's the most rewarding part is really building that one up just from the ground up and kind of like just doing it all in studio and seeing how it came out. That was, to me, that was the most fun. It was all fun, but that was the most fun.
French horn is such a unique choice. Like, when were you like, I know what I need? Like
I just knew how to play it.
I got you. Okay, all right. It's kind of
yeah, and I played it in middle school. That was the first. I mean, that was like my introduction to music in general was in middle school, and getting into the band and playing French horn. And in high school I was in the marching band. Like I was big time band nerd. And even in college I played French horn too. So it was, I mean, I played it for a big chunk of my life, and I still knew how to play it. I don't know. It was always kind of like, it was kind of cool because every time I listened to like music, like movie soundtracks or something, like the music in movies, like these big cinematic soundtracks, I always try to listen for the French horns, and they're always like, some like, it's like when like something heroic is happening or something emotional is happening, I try to like listen for it. I'm like, oh, that's the French horn. So it is cool to kind of like make something cinematic and kind of, as emotional as I could get it with that sort of instrument. So that was really the idea behind it.
That's cool, man. They do have that like kind of softness about them,
Yeah, they can. Yeah.
You can kind of, it makes sense to have it kind of like fill out a space because it's not going to cut in the wrong way. It's cool. That's a cool idea. And
yeah, it's definitely a good, it's definitely, I mean, it is a color instrument. Yeah. That's what it's used for in like a big band ensemble, which is, again, like you said, that's why I use it. Cause it's, it can have like kind of those soft, warm qualities to it. Yeah. But if you play it loud enough, you can kind of get that edginess and kind of make it just sound real heroic. So that's, I'm hoping to incorporate it in some other songs. It was really cool to do it. And, I think I figured out how to record with it, which is cool as well. So, yeah.
That probably wasn't easy to figure out how to record with that fucking thing.
No, the studio I was at, we had like a balcony area.
Yep.
Like there was you had to walk up some steps, and that's where I recorded it. So
Oh.
basically it's it was projected through this entire room.
Oh, that's cool.
And
they just kind of put a mic wherever type thing, and it picked it all up.
yeah, they put we put in a room mic. And I'm sure there's a picture somewhere. But we had 12, maybe 15 mics set up, and we were just choosing which one. We were just plugging them all in and out and see which one worked best. And then once we figured out the one, we just left the rest up there because we're going to worry about taking those down. But we got a picture of all the mics, just they're all around each other. It was like a flower just a flower of mics.
That's
and one of those, I don't even know which one was used to record it. So it's pretty cool,
awesome.
man.
So no mic on the horn, so to speak, but just kind of.
Oh no.
Yeah. Okay.
No, yeah, that would just be, no one want to hear that one. No, it's definitely, and that was something I kind of had to figure out too, knowing where to place the bell, because the bell goes backwards, right. So the sound is always kind of arching over, and I was always told not to aim the bell at the audience. You always want to put the bell away so that the sound projects over and then lands on the audience, so to speak. So that was a challenge as well, to figure out where to stand when I play and where to put the mic placement as well. So it's a big learning process for sure.
That's interesting.
Yeah, man. So how long have you been doing this for, Winston?
Well, I started music when I was, like I said, in middle school, but I've only been singing and playing guitar since I was 20. So I'm 23 now. It's about 3 years.
Okay.
Playing gigs for 2 years. So yeah, I'm fairly new to it.
Sound great. Especially
Thank you.
That. Jeez.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah, and JD's got a few years under his belt, and you should check out some of his music as well. He's a great singer-songwriter.
Very little French horn. Very sparse.
Not anymore.
That's okay. It's not a deal breaker. It's not a deal breaker.
I'll
have to check.
That's generous. Thank you. But yeah, no, man. That's. I mean, like I said, listen. You can play and sing for 3 years. That's killer. That's.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Yeah, and I appreciate it. I think I give a lot of credit to my teachers growing up, and just having that fundamental, because I don't think I would have ever learned how to play guitar or sing if I hadn't had that fundamental, that fundamental base, which with good teachers and teach me how to read music, how to write music, and kind of how to listen to other musicians when you're playing with them, how to listen to the different instruments, and blend into that. So I credit a lot of that to my teachers, and also I just had a lot of time on my hands in college, so it gave me a lot of time to practice and figure it out. So
yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Thank you, man. Thank you. Yeah,
that's good stuff. That one.
Yeah.
Well, what kind of music are you listening to nowadays?
Oh man, it's all over the place. Gosh, I've been listening to I listen to a lot of kind of folk Americana type stuff, but I also listen to some, it's all over the place too. I listen to a lot of alternative rock and type of things like that as well. But yeah, I've been listening to a lot of there's a guy named Dylan LeBlanc, and he's really good. He's kind of like folk rock type of stuff. It's real kind of vintage. It almost sounds 70s in a way. So I've been listening to a lot of him lately. I've kind of been on a Dylan LeBlanc kick, and yeah, I mean, it's really all over the place. I listen to a lot of old music too, like Neil Young and things like that. But when I say it's all over the place, I mean like when I'm taking road trips or whatever and driving, it's not uncommon for my playlist to go from George Strait to Pearl Jam to Nirvana to hip hop, R&B. It's all over the place. So it's hard to pinpoint one artist, but yeah.
That's dope.
Yeah. I think it's important to listen to a lot of artists, try to learn as much. I use it a lot as kind of research. It's mostly research for me. I enjoy it, but I try to listen to a lot of different music and kind of take all the influences that I can. So yeah.
That's good. That's perfect. You can't go wrong with Pearl Jam either, man.
That's true. No, that's honestly, I like to say that's kind of like my savior song if I'm at a gig, and I mean, gigs can always be kind of, you never know what's going to happen. So I've been in some gigs, where they kind of just treat me as like background music. So, but that's like the song that brings everybody back, you know, because I play that, like I play Black, a cover of Black.
Fuck. That's
Yeah, and then I
that's my
started playing
favorite
that.
Pearl Jam song. So there
I know,
you go.
man. I started playing that, and everyone's just like, you know, they start looking, they're like, oh shit, like,
It's like, I know that. Yeah.
yeah. If I don't get any claps in one night, I'll definitely get claps on that song, no matter what. So that'll be cool.
You know what? I gotta talk to you guys about something. You're both musicians that you could kind of just put wherever as like background noise, but doesn't that just
Mhm.
fucking piss you off? Like
Yeah.
I went to some like I went to a restaurant one time to see a buddy of mine play, and he's a singer-songwriter type guy. Just like he's got such a huge fucking voice, but everybody's like, if he was playing louder, the crowd would like talk over him louder, and it's like, what the fuck are you people doing? Like, shut up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's gotta be so fun. I left. I was like half drunk. I'm like, oh fuck this. I can't. You people are ruining my enjoyment of my buddy playing here. So I'm fucking out of here. It's bullshit.
Yeah. Man, I don't want to speak for you, Winston, but I definitely have like this like self-talk thing when that happened.
It's
Like,
not you.
like,
It's the promoter. Fuck him. Yeah.
well, I try to, you know, like if you like, I feel like if you show up to a place to play and people are there like for dinner, or like I play like wineries a lot, and like sometimes, you know, they're just drinking wine. They're not, you know, like music's like the secondary element, you know.
Yeah.
I try to remind myself like that this isn't the reason they came. You know, you try to like have this like a little spiel that I go through as I'm playing some song that means a lot to me, and I'm just like, no, it's okay. They don't know this, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, it sucks. There's no way around it. It would really. What's that?
I was like, you're just falling apart inside playing a song and no one's listening.
Like trying to smile, but I'm crying inside. You know? But I mean, like I don't know. I think what kills me is that when people don't clap, because I don't even care if you listen, or if you're not there to listen to music. I get it, that's fine. But like, there's just like a social structure where we should clap. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like you hold the door for somebody as they're walking through. If somebody's playing a song and then they're not anymore, you can feel that. You can feel it physically in your ears, the sound go away. That you just clap. You know? Just that drives me nuts, man. Yeah, that does annoy me.
That's my biggest thing. Yeah, like. I totally get what you're saying. People like talk while I'm playing. That's fine. You know, I'm on a microphone. I can sing loud or whatever. You know that, but the clapping thing definitely bothers me. And I don't know, man. I don't want to seem biased or anything, but you know, there's definitely some places you can tell like you guys aren't gonna clap. Like it's just, you know, it's usually the any sort of like pretentious place, you know, where you can tell that, you know, it's like, you know, people are all dressed up and stuff. And it's like, oh, you're not gonna clap for me. You got more important shit to talk about. I can tell. So, you know, but
I just don't even think clapping's like a performance feedback thing, really. I mean, you know, like if somebody says every other part of that service, like if you leave and your server wasn't great, but he or she says like, hey, have a good night. You're not going to like, you're going to say, oh, thanks. Have a good night. Or, you know what I mean? Like, there's just like certain things that you should do. It drives me nuts. People don't heads up.
Just fucking doing it. These and lockout.
Yeah, I tell it. Yeah, no,
okay.
It's honestly, it's kind of soul crushing sometimes, especially when like you ring that last note out and like, like the song's done and like no one says anything. And you're just like, right. Thank you all.
Still have 3 more songs left. God damn it. Yeah.
Yeah, no. My parents go to a lot of my gigs with me. They're kind of like my roadies. And
cool.
like sometimes they're like the only ones clapping. I'm like, just stop. Just don't.
Yeah, it's worse now that you're...
Eventually I just tell them like, hey, y'all don't have to clap. It's fine. You know, just
you
know, roll with the crowd here. But sometimes you can kind of, I don't know. Sometimes it only takes one person, I think. I mean, I'll be playing gigs sometimes and people are real quiet at first. And then like a table will come in and they're, you know, I guess more outgoing, and then they'll start clapping after I do a song, and then everyone else will start clapping. It's like,
like cues everybody.
Yeah, it's like there you are. You know, people are just weird. People respond so much to social cues, but it'd be nice if clapping after a song was over was a well-known social cue.
Yeah, I agree. Right. I do think you learn a lot about like just weird psychological things about groups. With music thing, like if you get in, I mean, I feel like, and you kind of alluded to this based on like maybe how like highbrow, the places, whatever. But you can like walk into a room.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like you can walk into a room you've never played in before, and just like, you know, if the ceilings are extra high, you know that you're gonna have a little extra echo, so you're gonna have to fight the volume of everyone talking, and and they will probably clap less because you're not gonna be as articulate, so they're not gonna enjoy it as much. And there's just gonna be like, you can almost like make all these calls, or like I when I play in those kind of gigs, I have a little tip jar thing, and if you put like a $5 bill and let it hang out. This is an old school trick. This is a gentleman of the road taught me this a long time ago. But you just like let that $5 bill hang out of that tip jar before you start. You're going to get more tips than if it starts empty, because people think that, oh, this is already like a thing people are doing, so I should do it. But if no one wants to be the first one, same with like an email list. I have a made up name. It's a friend from college. We made this guy's name up. It's a long story, but his name's Dervin. And I write Dervin Pontaine on the top of every email list. If I don't write it, nobody signs up. If I write it, you get some names. It's just crazy, man. Some of that stuff.
Wow. I didn't even think about that. Wow. Yeah, I should definitely do that with the tip jar. I hadn't even thought about that. Because I know, I know that, like, because I've seen people like, they'll throw in $1. I guess this works for like clear tip jars. Like if you just like throw in $1, people are like, oh, he's getting tips. But now that I think about it, mine's metal. People can't see through it, so they probably think it's like collecting rainwater, like the restaurant put it down or something. Yeah, it's
just happens to be where the roof's leaking. It's like, fuck.
Yeah, I should definitely do that. I gotta watch out though. Sometimes I'm at gigs and I see kids like walk up to my tip jar and they put like the $1 that their parents gave them, and they start like reaching in for like other stuff, like they're trying to make change. I'm like, what are you doing?
I just want some quarters. Yeah,
I know. And their parents like grab him, like, no, stop it, stop that. I'm trying to play a song, lady. Can you?
I had somebody break a 50 with me for a tip one time, and it was a 50.
That makes sense.
This is reasonable. At least I mean, I know it was more awkward for them than for me, but like I was just, it was one of those things where like, listen, I don't have any small cash, but can you break a 50? And,
that makes sense. Yeah.
It'll haunt me forever to know if I said no, I can't break it, if they'd have left it or walked away. You know,
they would have walked away.
Dang, Winston, you think, Joe? Yeah, I think so too.
I would have walked away. I'd been like, oh, too bad.
It wasn't.
If I had a 50 to break, I might, I don't know.
Yeah, that's true. You know what? If I had a 50 to spare, I'd be like, yeah, you know what?
I feel like if people are just walking around with $50 bills in their pocket, I don't know.
You got no problems in life.
You could probably part with it. Yeah.
No. Exactly.
These are good points. I hadn't really thought about it like that.
The tip jar thing works totally though. Like I used to do shows and I would do fundraisers. Okay, so this one fundraiser I did, I got to a point where I did so many of them that I'd stop playing until people started to put money in the tip jar. And I'd fucking make it very clear. I was like, well, you guys want another fucking song? Put money in the tip jar, and because it all goes to the fundraiser or whatever. It's like you throwing some shit in there, and we'll keep going. And it would always work. You gotta start fucking shit talking people, guys. Like, you're nice guys, but what you got to do is you look handsome as hell. But if you get out there and you command authority right off the phone, you go there and say, you know what? Fuck you. They will never expect it, and they'll respect you after, and they will give you.
Man.
Or they'll have a scary bastard, right? So they expect it from me.
I think they'd laugh at me if I did that.
I don't. That beer is robust, Joe. I'm already. You don't even have to say "fuck you" to anybody. Right. I'm already on board. I'm like, this guy. Whatever he says is good. This is clear with me.
That's what I'm saying. They expect it from me. So I don't know if I like scare people into tipping me, or if it's just like, if I don't give this guy a tip, I don't know what the fuck he's gonna do. He might find me after the show. I don't know, but it's a good point. Put the $5 in there, get a clear tip jar, you'll be set.
I do need a clear tip jar. Yeah.
Get like a big one. Get like a fucking, you go to Costco and get one of those tubs of peanut butter. Eat the whole thing before you play.
I'm allergic to peanut butter, so I can't.
Okay, don't touch that. Something equivalent.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know what you mean. The ones that, just the big ones you could kill someone with if you hit them hard enough. Yeah, those are. I think I have one of those.
There you go.
I don't know. I have to ask my mom if I can take that.
There you go.
Yeah, she might need somebody.
Either that or dump a bunch of M&Ms in there. One of the two.
You know what? Both would be suitable uses for a jar that size.
That's true. Yeah.
Just because there's M&Ms in there doesn't mean it can't be used for murder as well.
That's right.
If they're peanut M&Ms, they got my ass. I'll tell you that. Sure. I won't survive that one. They can kill me with that.
That's fucking crazy.
It is crazy. I know
I've heard
it's
about peanut allergy. Yeah, yeah. I've heard about those peanut allergies, but I didn't know. Like, I knew it could be pretty severe, but I've never met anybody that had one that was that severe. So, do you have to carry like an EpiPen with you and shit?
yeah, I've carried I have it with me. Like it's like in my like toiletry bag. You know, it's not like I don't carry it everywhere, but I ate peanut butter until I was like 6 years old. And then they're like, yeah, you can't do that anymore. You're allergic. I'm like, how allergic? And they're like, die. It's like, oh
Man.
you know. It was weird because I had never had a reaction, and I've like accidentally eaten peanut butter since then, and nothing happened. So I don't know. Maybe maybe all life's been a lie. I don't know.
It sounds like bullshit, but keep that pen on standby and just like one scoop, be like, fuck it.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. It's like getting in a car wreck. Like there's no good day to just do it. You know.
That's
like,
right. That's right. You'll wake up and think today's the day. I'm just gonna fucking just pile into the first son of a bitch.
Yeah, it's like there's a 50% chance I'm going to the hospital. It's like I don't ever want to do that, but maybe I will. I'm sure I'll. Yeah.
Peanut butter is delicious, but it's not worth. It's not worth it.
I remember it being great. I forgot what it tastes like though. Isn't that nuts?
God, that's so.
All nuts or just peanut butter?
That's funny. That's a good pun.
I didn't plan that honestly. It is actually all.
As a dad, that is a perfect dad joke. Thank you. JD got it. He's like, yes.
Oh man, yeah. I think it's all nuts actually. They said it was all. They say like to be safe, don't eat any nuts. And I was like, all right. I do eat pistachios though. I like pistachios.
See, I've heard that. I've heard sometimes people with nut allergies can eat pistachios.
Well, pistachios are technically a fruit.
Are they?
No, I'm sorry. I don't.
I think they're actually a legume. I think they're considered a legume. I'm not.
I believe you.
Yeah.
No idea.
I really.
They're a vegetable.
Could be. That's probably why I'm not.
That's either way. Yeah.
You got to get them pre-shelled.
Shelled, yeah. Shelling.
You don't like shelling them?
It's bullshit.
I really don't. It's a process I'm not. I really haven't invested in interest in. Are you shelling, Winston? You're a sheller?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. I've always grown up like doing that, I guess. My parents just bought like a bag of like the ones without the shells, and I don't know. Maybe it's a psychological thing, but it bothers the shit out of me. Like I can't even eat them. Like I'm like I didn't work for this. I gotta.
You get those ones that are like not even started, and it's like, what the fuck am I supposed to do with this?
Those do suck. Yeah, you just gotta throw those back in the bag and hope you don't grab it again. I don't know.
I've been living a cushy life because I just feel like a real lazy SOB right now.
No.
It's a metaphor. You gotta work for your shit, JD.
Yeah.
You're nuts, right?
You gotta work for the nut.
Crack my own nuts. Yeah.
Crack your own nuts. That's what it is, man.
I see mine says we have like 7 minutes left. Is that just me? Is that you?
That's
okay.
accurate. Yeah.
I just don't know if that was just me or y'all.
That's everyone. We got that much time left. If you want to keep going, I can send another link, but it's up to you.
No, it's whatever y'all want to do. I got no plans for the night.
No plans. Okay.
Besides this.
You're in Texas?
I'm in Texas, yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's pretty hot down here. Although we had a cold front this week, so it's not as hot as it usually is.
So is it down to like 80?
The high is 80. It's like it's not like in the 50s in the morning, but past like 10 a.m. the sun's out and it's hot. So, but at that point it's back to normal.
Whereabouts are you near Houston?
Houston, yeah. Mm-hmm. Cool. Yeah. And I went to college in Austin, near Austin, so I've been around a little bit in Texas, but I haven't really ever lived anywhere else besides Texas. I've traveled other places. I just haven't lived any other place than Texas. So really sticks to you. Where are you guys at right now?
I'm in Canada.
Yeah, I knew you are in Canada.
JD, you're
I'm up in Ohio.
Ohio?
Yeah.
Cool. Very cool. I've never been to either of those places. Well,
you seem healthy. I mean, I wouldn't worry about it. On this little know-how front.
Yeah. I missed out on a Canadian road trip. My grandparents and my cousin, they went like right after I graduated high school, and I told them I couldn't go. And they went. It looked like a lot of fun. I really missed out. So
where all did it go?
They went like shit. I mean, like they went like mostly to like I think they went to Yellowstone, and then they cut into like Canada, and then the goal was to get to Alaska, so that's where they got.
Holy
Eventually
shit.
was Alaska. Yeah, and it was a hell of a drive because I mean they drove from Texas, so it was
Dang,
just
yeah, that's
Yeah, drive for like a
the
fucking
most.
month to get to Alaska from Texas.
Oh yeah, it was yeah. But I mean, it's cool though. I mean that's I don't know if that's like I don't know that we do a lot of road trips in my family. That's kind of like a thing, I guess. Like I've flown other places, but for the most part, I like that's like growing up with my grandparents, or not even grow up with my grandparents, but being around my grandparents, we take road trips, and that was like a thing of my childhood. It's just this long ass road trip, just staring out a window, doing nothing because we didn't have cell phones back then.
Yeah.
And so
yeah.
we took a lot of trips to New Mexico, which by the way, segue back to pistachios. New Mexico has some of the best pistachios. Not even kidding.
No.
Yeah, we'd always go to this pistachio farm, and that was just crazy. You would think that wouldn't be a huge deal, but it was a big deal.
You have to shell them though.
Yeah.
You have to show them. Yeah, but they make like yeah, I know.
Not even
I'm sure
state.
I'm sure they have like ones without shells. I don't know, but they have this place has like everything you could think of pistachio wise. They got like pistachio brittle and pistachio, different type of candies and stuff like that. They probably have pistachio beer. I don't know. I didn't check, but they might have something like that. Everything was pistachio based. So I didn't know we'd be going off to talk about nuts on this thing, but
It
yeah.
can be anything. It's whatever you guys want. That's the beauty of this fuck. I don't give a fuck. That's just it. People ask me, do you prepare any of this? I was like, nah, man. I just talk to people. I don't give a shit. So,
Yeah.
I had my 2 questions I asked. How I even play music and whatever else I asked, and that was it.
Yeah. I was prepared. I was prepared for that one.
The ringer. Yeah, I was going to put you through the fucking ringer.
Yeah, you really did have a solid, believable answer, Winston.
We're going to have to work on it. JD is thankfully a very powerful attorney, as we mentioned earlier. So
yeah,
we'll have to.
You're in great hands. Limbocast, we it's the best or nothing. So we'll make sure everything comes together for you.
Put that on a fucking t-shirt, and I'm going to send you.
Wow, I'm like, I kind of believe you, honestly.
Wow.
I'm not even sure if I'm not even sure if I think you're a lawyer. I really do.
Lawyer.
It's the nicest thing anyone's ever said to me, honestly. I think you're
I
call my mom after this. This is a big deal, honestly. No one's ever gotten to know me and been like, I think you're a lawyer. This is huge. Even after the shelling problem that we've already addressed my laziness. Winston, you're a generous man. You're a nice guy.
You're a lawyer.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
And your life from anything that happens.
Yeah. I'll come to one of your shows and I'll give you the 50. I'm that generous. Just
a 50 and a handful of pistachios out of your own pocket. Not shelled though. Or shelled actually. He shelled each one before he was.
I'd rather not have the shelled pocket pistachios. No offense, Winston. I'm sure you keep them.
No, it's sometimes depending which pocket.
Oh. There's the garbage pocket and the good pocket.
Yeah, everyone's got that pocket where you unwrap something and you gotta you don't want to have you don't have a trash can anywhere and you don't want to throw it away, so you just put it in your pocket like a good person. Some people just throw it.
Wet pocket, dry pocket, right and left. That's how I like to live, sauces and solids,
Yeah, no, pockets are just, it's too bad cargo shorts aren't in style anymore.
Yes.
They just have so many uses. I still wear some. I will wear them sometimes. I've just been told that that's not the move if you're going out. You can't
be a crowd pleaser that way.
I shouldn't bring this up because it's not related at all. But I think we've talked enough about pistachios, and I'm feeling confident. I wore for the longest. Those zip-off cargo pants. You know what I'm talking about? They're cargo pants, but they zip off into cargo shorts. Which when they came out, it wasn't a crime. And when they came out, it was it changed. I think there were a large swath of the male population was finally an answer to every question and problem.
The biggest dilemma of all time.
Yeah, man. I just remember being like, this is it. We're done. I know that NASA's probably still going to do some stuff, but we've landed. You know what I mean? And I wore them way too late into high school, and I actually got approached by friends. It was almost like a
intervention.
Yeah, it was in that style. They were like, hey, listen. We're your friend. This comes from a place of love, but you have to stop wearing those pants. And you're like, But what a bummer, you know, because they were functionally, you know.
Perfect. It's like, I'm hot. Fuck it.
Yeah.
Only one leg is hot. I'm going to leave one leg in a pant and the other in a shirt.
And you know where you put the pants that you just. I'm so glad that we didn't stop right there.
Yeah.
You had more
like,
story to tell, JD.
Yeah, you can't stop.
Yeah, what an ending.
That's
They were just talking about weird pants, and then it was over.
That was
We
it.
soon knew to end this.
Because that's all that was all that was left to be said.
Yeah.
Much like that was the last great achievement that mankind has done.
No way.
Yeah.
We were at the end, you know. Whole history. We got cut off. Listen, I got to finish this thought because it's important to me. And then we're done with it. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, we can move on from these pants. But the greatest part about them was once you unzip them, you can put the pant part that you took off in the cargo short pockets. I mean, it's entirely self-sufficient and self-contained.
That's right.
Name another thing like that.
There's nothing. The funniest thing I've ever seen is that meme online about those pants, and it's like, you just worry about making friends or something like that. It's just like, you get out there and look cool. We'll hold your stuff. You just worry about making friends.
Oh man, I own a pair of those pants. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I did.
What color?
Yeah.
Are they the khaki color? Like I think
They were khaki.
There you go.
Oh yeah. I looked like I was about to hike a mountain and eat some granola. They were.
Well, you could do that because if you actually take the pant leg off, that could double as like a, you know, you find yourself in a fucking survival scenario. You could fill that leg with water or some shit.
Yeah, that's 100%. That's true. And I'm all about that. I love watching like survival shows. That's like my weird. That's like my guilty pleasure. I watch all those survival shows. I don't know. The woods. I'm prepared. You know.
Like Naked and Afraid. Like you think more people would take those pants? I mean, I know they have to be naked, but you can still do whatever you want with those pants. Just that. Yeah. Machete. No, I got my pants.
I don't watch Naked and Afraid as much. I don't know. It's just weird to me. I watched like one episode. It seemed like every episode, like the guys are always like, "I'm gonna get lucky." There's a chick.
Yeah.
Surviving out here, and I'm gonna get lucky. And the chicks are always like, the girls are always like, they know exactly what they're gonna do, and they nail it, and they really make it out. And the guy is like, he's like, I got one condom. It's used for like storing water, but I think I'm gonna use it for, like it's ridiculous. It's like, dude, man, you can't even get through a survival situation with that.
No, that's hilarious.
So I didn't watch that as much. But there's a show on Netflix called Alone.
Okay.
That's a good one. That one's cool because it's like a reality show, but they're surviving and they all have like their own cameras, and it like, it pans, it goes back and forth to like which survivalist is doing their own thing and shows how they're doing. And it gets pretty crazy. You'd be surprised how much shit goes wrong in the wild.
No doubt. It's just like fucking, I just
anything.
Imagine someone falling off a cliff or something. It's like, hey, let's check in on Steve. Oh, fuck.
Yeah, no. Spoiler alert. One guy actually did like trip and like broke his leg. And it was just like that. I mean, he was like, anyway, I'm going to go pick up some sticks. And he like slipped and fell. And he's like, oh, I think I broke my leg. And he had to call him in. And they're like, yeah, your leg's broken. You're off the show now. Like, eliminated. It was like the first or second episode. I was like, damn, that sucks. He's like an hour in, he falls. Like,
just a compound fracture.
I know, man. At least he had someone to pick him up. That'd be
yeah.
And that's actually a pretty good guilty pleasure. Like
yeah,
actually are like obtaining information.
Yeah, I got a lot more, but that's like the one I can say. Yeah. It's the one I'm going to put out there,
All right. This is the only one that lines up with the brand, Joe.
Right.
Thank you. Good. Appreciate that. Thank you. We are survivors here on the Limbocast. Yes.
Right. Yeah. I can't let anyone know about the Snuggies. So
no. I'll edit that out.
This weird thing where he wants to smell people's elbow pits or something, It's a tough thing to converse about,
I'm so sensitive to smells. Bad smells just make me sick. It's
fair. That's fair.
Unless someone's got a good smelling elbow, I don't know. Might not be sold there.
Well, when you stop by with that 50, you have an open invitation. Okay.
Smell your elbow ditch. Smell the ditch in my arm, friend.
Ditch in my arm. That's great.
Can I get that pre-show? I don't want to do a post-show. That's
pre-show.
Absolutely.
No, it has to be post.
I don't want you to. I respect you too much, man.
Yeah, you know, he's giving you the 50, so it can be a pre-show. It's whatever you want.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Good point, Joe. I'm right with you.
Cool.
Oh man.
So you got any more shows and stuff like that coming up, Winston?
Let me see. I got a few. They're all in Texas. I have a few shows in Louisiana coming up.
Nice.
That is cool. Yeah. Let's see. I got a couple shows this weekend.
Nice.
Yeah, and then I got one in October 17th at a place in Texas. It's kind of a cool like old like it's like a saloon, but it was built like in the 1800s, so it's definitely like an old renovated venue that I'm really excited about. So yeah, the gigs have been tough. It's like with COVID going on, so they've been kind of few and far between, but everything's starting to pick back up and places are starting to kind of open back up and allow live music, which is good. You know, I can't think of anything more socially distanced than one guy on a stage like 20 feet away from everyone else. No clapping either. So
yeah, no clapping. And yeah, they don't talk or interact with anything you're saying, so that's fine.
Yeah, I almost said something about that. At one of my shows. It's like one of those, you know, it's one of those shows, one of those highbrow shows. People, you know, avoiding clapping and whatnot. And I almost said something, you know, to the effect of, you know, you can't spread COVID through clapping, guys. You can do that. You know, you're wearing the mask, you can clap. It's okay.
It's fine to clap. That's funny. That's funny.
Yeah, man.
What's tell us about Lonesome Dove Sessions. That's a new release you got coming out, right?
Oh yeah. So yeah, that's coming out October 22nd on Spotify and pretty much everywhere else people listen to music. And that was a cool little thing that I did. I'm definitely going back to kind of my roots in that one, and playing just acoustic, kind of minimalist type of songs. And definitely, unlike Crowd Pleaser, it definitely fits into one genre. I think, you know, it's definitely like kind of a folk Americana.
Nice.
Some might say country type of album. I wouldn't say country, but it's got steel guitar in it, which is kind of, when you hear steel guitar, it's kind of like, oh, that's country.
People right away think country when they hear that.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. And I'm cool with that because
fun.
it was definitely just a really cool experience. I recorded with a guy. He's one of my friends. He also plays music. His name's Aaron Lacombe. If you want to check him out. But he has a studio of his own in Kerrville, Texas. And I asked him if he wanted to record some songs, and I went over there and played at his home studio, and it was really cool to kind of put it all together. And that's kind of why it's called Lonesome Dove Sessions. It was kind of like, it was one day we just did like 2 songs, knocked them out. So it's kind of like a session release. So that it's gonna be two songs on Lonesome Dove Sessions, and one of them's little upbeat. It's kind of cool, and so it's about kind of where I live and, you know, where my grandparents live, and kind of like, you know, nostalgic childhood memories of going to what we call the Piney Woods out in East Texas. And another song's a little kind of like deeper, emotional, kind of moody type of song, but they're all really cool, and they all took place one day in my friend's studio. And, you know, he engineered it, and he found some people to put in the steel guitar and things like that. And I'm really proud of how it came out. It's a really kind of I think it's a step in the right direction. It's definitely a step towards kind of figuring out what sound I want, and what sound I kind of want to keep for in the future. So yeah, October 22nd, really excited.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I look forward to that, dude.
And after that, we'll see what happens. See where it goes. Yeah.
That's all you can do. I guess we'll see what happens after the election you guys are going to have down there.
Oh yeah, it's going on.
Okay. I heard the debate was just a dumpster fire last night. I didn't watch it because I don't care about.
I didn't watch it. I was writing a song, you know.
I saw it.
But yeah.
What was it, JD? What was the bird's eye? Fucking.
Oh man.
Right.
I mean, yeah. Without really getting into the weeds and changing the vibe of everything, just a lot of like talking over each other, I would say, and just, you know, I mean, you don't expect to hear a lot of like deep policy conversation in like quick debate stuff, but it was just a lot of like both microphones at equal volume, both of them talking at the same time, and then the moderator trying so hard, and yeah, it's just it's a real bummer right now. And I feel like just culturally, no matter what side you're on, this is gonna be a really difficult couple months. It's a mess.
Yeah,
it's a mess.
an audio engineer to work the debates. I think that would be hilarious. Kind of like fade in their voices, play some music when they start like talking about
Just
something
mute
cool,
the one guy. Just to be racist. Just
You just hear him like fade into the background, like, "Hey, anyways," I think that'd be hilarious.
They should. And they really should have that like mute button option. But I guess if they had that, one or the other wouldn't have agreed to do it. So that there's like a rule that they have to be at least able to interject. I guess it probably makes sense to if people personality wise, their like lack of self control does play into like probably how people are going to judge them and stuff and make their decisions. So maybe you want that to some extent. But man, it was so hard to even understand their conversations last night. It was a mess.
Just a lot of raw.
Yeah, I saw a few bits and pieces, and it was just a lot of talking. I mean, I couldn't even like you said, I couldn't even really hear what either one was saying. It's just all over the place. I heard the moderator was pretty loud too. I heard him the most. He's trying to like.
That's what I heard too.
Down.
He was kind of not any better than the other two yo-yos up there, but
yeah.
Who knows?
It's kind of like overload for me. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe that's the musician in me talking. But when like I hear like a bunch of things going on at one time, I'm like, oh, I don't get it, and I run off or something.
I do the same thing. It's like,
I can't handle it. I mean, there's so many times talking about like my headset. There's so many times I'm like playing Call of Duty or something, and people just start yelling. I'm just like, I just take the headphones off and just keep playing because I can't even like hear people just talking over each other. It drives me nuts. I don't know. It's some weird OCD thing I got, I guess.
Good.
Yeah. Sounds reasonable to me.
Yeah, I think so. Reasonable, sure.
Yeah.
But I had a guest on here on Monday, Christian Machado from El Nino, and I asked him. It was just a question on the spot, but I'm going to ask you, both of you, if you won the lottery. So say you nailed Powerball. I know that's the big one the state's got. What's the first thing you buy? And then what do you do with the rest of that money to try and better society or humanity or whatever?
Oh, man. Oh, JD, you can go first if you want.
The attorney. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. First thing I buy, man. I would probably my wife and I would love to live on like a lake or the ocean at some point. So I bet I'd probably buy that property, I just think that would be cool. And frankly, without a lottery win, I don't know how that would ever happen anyways. I'd probably be locked in pretty quick. But I've always wanted to do like a nonprofit that does like, I've actually answered this question in some.
God damn it.
Well, no, I mean, it's a good question, but like like this kind of a hypothetical. And I've always wanted to like, I think it would be awesome to do a nonprofit that is one of those ones that like finds a problem that you can like solve through like a practical scientific solution. Like, Bill Gates, I think, is the one who's doing, self-sustainable toilets that, like they're able to like, I don't know if it's like self-compost but anyway, he's fixing a lot of like the plumbing issues in third world countries and stuff through science and like the right kind of funding. But I think it'd be cool to find like a problem that has a solution, like there needs a solution like that, and kind of dive into that. I don't know. It's a very broad option, but something like that.
It'd be something useful anyway.
Yeah. Man. I think in a different time I might try to buy something materialistic, but I don't know. I mean, now with COVID going on, if I hit the jackpot, I think I would honestly travel. Yeah, I'd use the money to just travel a good bit and just explore the world, and maybe buy a house lakeside. That sounds cool. I've always wanted that. Yeah, I don't know. I guess the rest of the money I would love to use, not to sound like a music head or anything, but I definitely want to do something music wise. Probably something like putting music into schools, all schools, not just the ones that can afford it, giving money to schools to really fund music programs. That was in Texas. I don't know if y'all know, Texas football is pretty big. And so you go, you drive by these high schools and like they have like these ginormous stadiums, and it's like, oh my God, it's
crazy for high
schools,
man. It's
crazy.
Ridiculous. Yeah.
It's unreal. And I know the band programs get, they fundraise the money on their own, that from what I can tell, from the school I went to, they didn't get a lot of money from the district and whatnot. And that's not the district's fault, really. I mean,
Was that even at the college level, or just mainly at the high school? Because if you have a
college
team in
is
football, you need the band, or else you're fucked.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not an expert on it really, but I do know that a lot of money gets put into football on the high school and college level. I went to kind of a smaller school for college, so it was a little bit different there. They'd spend a ton of money on stadiums. They spend a lot of money on buildings for learning and things like that, which is cool.
Which is important.
But definitely the stadiums are just unreal. They're just huge. But it would be nice to kind of put some money back into the music programs, because I think that's something for me that's really just helped me in a lot of ways outside of music, and I know it's helped a lot of people in their lives as well. Just the act of creating music. I mean, they've done tons of studies that show that it's just it works different parts of the brain. It works both parts of the brain, actually, both hemispheres when you're playing. Because you're reading music and you're playing, so it works the creative side of your brain and the logistical side. So I think it's just beneficial for everyone. So that's probably something I would put the money towards after I get my lake house and travel the world and all that.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Sure. That's awesome.
What about you, Joe? Just like 70 motorcycle.
I thought you never would ask.
Yeah, finally. No. I would buy the monster truck Gravedigger and just.
Oh, that's my favorite, dude.
Fuck yeah! I'd park it on my front lawn and never drive it. Just so assholes knew I had fucking money. That would be it. And then after that, I would oh no, there's a lot of things in my city that could use a hand with funding, like mental health initiatives or addiction services and things like that. I'd probably just invest in that. But I'm getting fucking Gravedigger for sure.
Yeah, I'm glad you said that.
Dude.
Well, to preserve that vehicle is a service in itself.
You need it, right?
Yeah.
Is that not I thought it was a reasonable. I was like, yeah, if I win the lottery, I'm buying Gravedigger. And I've thought,
lottery, you can buy. You get to do that. Yeah.
Do whatever you want. You get one thing. That's my one. I'm fucking doing that.
It's awesome, man. That's my favorite monster truck too. I remember as a kid, I went to Monster Jam, and that was the big when Gravedigger came out. I was like, oh my god, it was just ridiculous. I remember.
Imagine parking that on your front lawn and never touching it.
Oh my gosh.
Fucking right.
Sign of both aggression and respect all at once.
Respect, right? It's like, I'll fucking start it up. I will. Don't let me. I will run you down the street.
Oh my gosh. That's a power move, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
My buddy, my one guy I used to work with always said, he's like, if I win the lottery, I'm going to buy 4 Hummers and just never drive them and just park them. That's why? He's like, just so people knew I had fucking money.
Yeah. You gotta let them know.
It's a status symbol, somebody.
You gotta let them know which house to rob.
Yeah, your mansion and whatever. But no, you got fucking Gravedigger on the front lawn.
Yeah.
Just in a shit shack too, eh? Just a tiny fucking house, but Gravedigger's bigger than the house.
Yeah, I know. People are reporting it to the cops, and
it is kind of like a loophole though, because it shows that you have money, but it also shows that you don't want to rob that guy. In my opinion, I don't know.
Because if he's got a monster truck, he's probably got fucking guns. I don't.
This guy owns weapons. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Even what are those things? What are those things on? It's a spike ball on a chain.
A mace.
A mace. Fucking yeah.
Mace.
I'm getting Gravedigger. And I'm putting a fucking mace holder in the cab.
Wow.
Without the mace on it, but they'll know.
Yeah.
You got to,
$68 Amazon Prime.
What's that?
They're $68 on Amazon Prime. You get a mace holder.
Reasonable.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, it's titanium.
Titanium mace.
Case.
That's gonna show up in my ads in a few seconds. My phone's listening.
Now we talked about mace holders and.
We heard you wanted a mace.
Yeah, here you go. It's going to be a mace holder and a pair of those fucking zip-off pants. That'll be and a bag of pistachios.
There's probably I'd say maybe pistachios the most. I feel like we really ran the game.
Really unshelled some shit with pistachios.
Yeah, shelling tools and stuff. Oh, man.
Do they have shelling tools for pistachios other than your hands?
Well, I mean, obviously there's got to be.
This is an untapped market. This is what you're talking about, JD. This is what you're solving problems in the world.
That'd be a tough. I don't know how you would make that.
I can help rich people access pistachios without as much work. Like lazy, wealthy people who want to enjoy pistachios, but they don't want to, just get their hands dirty.
The tiniest nutcracker of all time. Just there you go. Thanks.
This is
You might be onto something.
Play those gigs, Winston. You
might be onto something. I'll definitely buy it too.
Wow.
Whatever. It tears up your hand sometimes when you shell those pistachios.
Yeah.
Yours is a hero story. I mean, you've put in the time. This is a product that we could have you take a look at it. Obviously, you'd be kind of like a consultant on this, but I got a hell of a story too. Coming back from a nut allergy, and then I decided I was gonna eat the nuts anyway. With his own bare hands.
His own bare hands.
Yeah. They asked me if I wanted them shelled. I was like, no, I'll unshell them myself, and that's where it all started. Yeah.
He reclaimed his nuts.
Took his nuts into his own hands.
That's what I was looking for right there, Joe. That's great.
No, that's good. That's good.
Oh man, so many. Yeah, that could be a meme for sure.
Should be a meme. That's awesome. That's fun, man. But yeah, I hope people take the time and listen to your album, Crowd Pleaser. It's good. That's a good album.
I would appreciate it. Even if they don't, I'm still making music and all that good stuff. So
yeah,
cool.
I know that feel. Even if they don't listen, well, that's never discouraged me. So there you go.
Yeah. No, it's definitely tough out there. But
it's tough.
It's all you can do, I guess, is to keep going. I guess I'm, in a lot of ways I got kind of, I don't know. I guess I feel like I kind of have a ways to go, which is a good thing. It's also kind of a scary thing. It's like, I got a lot to do, but at the same time, I got a lot of things that I can kind of put forward and put out there. And, I'm excited to see where it all goes. I'm all about I guess that's what I've learned from all those, childhood road trips. It's kind of about the journey. It's a journey that's fun. Once you get there, it's, Disneyland's cool and whatnot, but, getting there is the fun part, and kind of enjoying all that is the whole cool part of it. So that's kind of my mindset for now, So
awesome. Yeah. That's awesome, man.
I didn't mean to get all philosophical, but
no, it's good.
Yeah. No, that's cool. Man, you're young, and to feel that like you got a long way to go is only gonna help you out, because you're just gonna keep trying to trying to learn and grow as a as a songwriter and musician and stuff. That's killer, and you're already great. So
yeah.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
You've only been doing it for a handful of years. I was kind of like, holy shit! Like I didn't expect that. I didn't think that you were as young as you are for mere writing and everything like that. So good for you. But
well, thank you. I appreciate that. It means a lot to me.
Sorry, there's no music industry left for you.
Yeah, no, man. I'm it's been that's been kind of a tough thing to swallow, but I've been getting into a lot of like kind of independent artists that have made it, and that's
the way to do it.
That's exciting too. Yeah, I recently saw a guy. He's a real like traditional country singer. His name's Charlie Crockett, and he's a really great singer, great songwriter. But he's from what I can tell, he's completely independent in a lot of ways. I don't think he really has a label. And if he does, then I'm totally off. But he's a pretty big artist, and he's out here just kind of doing his own thing independently and traveling with a small crew, and living the dream in a lot of ways. So that's given me a lot of hope. Guys like that, people, independent artists that have figured out how to make it work. It's definitely not easy by any means, I'm sure, but it's been giving me a lot of hope. But yeah, I know what you mean though. The music industry is just kind of a shit show for the most part.
It doesn't really, I think you're better off if you can to stay independent, I think. Personally. That's what I've been told, I think a lot of people, a lot of older, not just musicians, but like, artists in general. And I think looking back, or them looking back, they've said that it's best just to own everything that you do, just if you can own all of it and do it all on your own, and, don't sell out essentially, because, there's a lot of loopholes to jump through, and we're not all lawyers like JD, so then I'd be able to find the loopholes in those contracts.
Yeah.
So.
JD's found all but 2 of them, if I'm not mistaken, but we'll find them by the end of the show.
Unfortunately, they're directly tied with success, but yeah, I'll find them one of these days.
That's a commission you out, man.
I mostly just do traffic court stuff, but I am looking for some music gigs. So yeah, do let me know.
I can tell you, he helped me in a couple tight spots with Gravediggers sitting on my front lawn. All day.
Oh yeah.
There's a Grand Theft Auto charge and some related.
Allegedly.
Alleged. Yeah, it's still technically in a settlement case right now.
Yeah, talk about that, right?
I can't.
That's can't say much more. So please don't cry, Winston. God, it's a little.
Actually, we have to end this right now. Don't cry.
Sorry, I'm not bad. You can cut that out, right?
Yeah, I'll cut it out. That's fine.
Totally. Yeah, legally we have to.
Didn't I hide a body for you the last time we talked to JD? Was that? No. That was.
I don't know.
I've done so many.
I don't think if you did, I don't think we would mention it in a podcast.
I didn't.
Joe.
Never happened. No.
I don't know.
I don't hear anything.
You know.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It's fine. Pistachios.
I think there's a. Speaking of that, there's an. I don't know if y'all know. There's an artist named Shaky Graves.
Yep.
Yeah.
Have y'all heard of him?
Yep.
I was like, I kind of on a Shaky Graves kick too. I'm listening to a lot of his music, but I looked at his Spotify page and like on his bio, I don't know if it's still there, but on his bio, all his bio literally says is, "I heard he killed a guy." That's the only thing on his bio.
That's awesome.
The best bio of all time.
I know. It's like that's honestly that's Shaky Graves in a nutshell. Like he's just a super weird yet really cool guy that seems super personable and just says he just seems like he just doesn't care. You know, it's kind of a cool thing. It's kind of freeing to see a guy like.
Yeah, I think he played. He either played we have like a big festival here called the Regina Folk Festival.
Okay.
It's always in August, but I think he either played last year or was supposed to play this year before COVID hit. So that's
cool. He does the one-man band thing, right? Doesn't he do like all the?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
actually awesome. Yeah, that's actually what I've started. I have my first set this Friday, which is with the new setup, which is I'm actually doing something similar. Drum, and then on the other foot I have a kick pedal with a tambourine. So nice. I'm starting to, and I had to kind of watch him and kind of see how he did that, and because I wanted to make my sets a little bit more like I don't know, just like I guess a little bit more upbeat, you know, because I can strum as much as I want, you know, an acoustic guitar, but I think it definitely helps. I think to kind of have that kick and that tambourine kind of give people a little bit of a groove to clap to, you know, and or just kind of feel the rhythm a little bit. So that's definitely something that I'm doing as well. So that's why I've been listening to him a lot, kind of researching it a little bit, but
yeah, that's awesome.
As he kind of made that whole thing like he made that his thing because he had like a suitcase that was a kick drum, you know. Right. That was it was a cool thing.
Awesome.
That's cool.
I've seen that a lot. Yeah, actually, that suitcase. So that's where that came from. Okay.
Yeah. I've been listening to another guy. You just reminded me because you mentioned that folk festival. I don't know if he's played there, but he's a fellow Canadian. His name's Coulter Wall. If you've heard of him.
Yeah, he's from. His dad used to be like the premier of my province.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So I don't know how fucking legit it is. It's not fair if you ask me, but no, it's fine. Didn't Jay-Z find him or some shit? Jay-Z found him. He's like, "Hey, I want you to fucking." I don't know.
Coulter Wall?
Yeah.
I don't think so. Are you sure?
Yeah,
he's a country singer.
Yeah, I know.
The country
Jay-Z.
Really?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Wow. I hadn't heard about that. That might be right. I haven't heard about that.
He gave him like a fuckload of money or something to like release only on Tidal or something to do with Tidal and him. I don't know. My legal team is gonna just have to.
I'm actually already putting a note into Jeremy. We'll get some info on that. Make sure. Check.
Make sure I'm not going to get sued by Jay-Z or Coulter Wall. But Coulter Wall, if you're listening, I'm going to punch your dad in the dick. There you go. Allegedly.
And Jay-Z, if you're listening, Winston and I are interested in that title money.
Yes. Yeah.
Joe had mentioned.
I would take enough of it just to buy Gravedigger. And that's it.
Yeah, Jay-Z hit us up because we're definitely down for that.
We're down.
No arguments here, you know.
Money Cash Hose was my favorite song of yours, and thank you.
And thanks for listening in. It's really cool of you to check out.
To take the time and just, really.
Yeah, just.
Honestly, I'm very honored that Jay-Z's listening.
Yeah.
Thank you, JC.
And how's
All my
life?
best to Beyonce and the twins.
Yeah. Say hi to everybody, please.
Hope everything's going well, JZ. I'm literally trying to look this up to see if I'm not a huge fucking asshole.
I don't. You might be right. I haven't researched Coulter Wall a lot.
Yeah, fuck him.
I saw him at ACL Live. He was really good. Put on a really good show.
Nice.
If he's listening,
If you're listening, you put on a good show called.
Great artist.
Well, now I don't know anything. Okay, I'll get back to it.
Jay-Z is listening to this too. It's awesome.
I'm a lawyer and Jay-Z listens. And you said I
bring
wouldn't do anything. I'm just kidding. From what I've seen on YouTube, your parents sound very supportive, so there you go. Good for you.
Are mine?
No. Well, I'm sure yours are too, yes, and also JD's. I know yours are for going to your gigs and stuff. Mine don't go.
Yeah, no, they're pretty they're great.
You have a podcast? Fuck off. Okay, thanks. Bye, Mom. Good talk, Mom. See you next year.
Yeah, they're letting me use their office space to do this.
That's
They're like,
good.
don't do that. They're like, don't do that in your room. It's a mess. Get in the office. I'm like, all right.
Wow.
See, I thought that
Let
was
them
your
know that
room.
we really like the space, please.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I do it in my office as well, but I got my shit over here. I got some.
Oh, very nice.
Fucking,
Very nice.
it doubles as the cat food room as well. My cat's eating here, but they're locked out right now. Otherwise, they'll really make me look like an idiot. So it's fine. Fuck you.
Are you a cat person?
I like animals, you know.
Yeah, me too.
I just read today that something 73 or 76% of something like that of people like dogs, and only like 40% of people like cats.
Yeah.
I always thought it was way more.
You'd think that would be way more even than that. But
Yeah.
I like dogs too. I grew up with both, so you know.
Yeah, I grew up with dogs, and then we got 2 cats like a few years ago, and they're great. So I'm like you. I like both. We have like 3 dogs and 2 cats now. We just have way too many animals in the house now. So
Cats are low maintenance, though. You don't gotta do nothing for them.
that is true. Yeah, I'm starting to see that.
You have to clean up their shit, right? So it's like, they kind of own you in that sense. It's like, fuck, I have to feed you and water you, and I clean up your fucking shit. So goddamn.
Yeah, the cats are good. They live in my sister's room though, so she's kind of in charge of cleaning up all the cat.
That's good. See, that's what you need.
That's
what you need.
Yeah.
My wife screwed me so hard because when she first got pregnant, she's like, I can't go near the litter box, and that was like 6 years ago, and here I am still doing it every fucking day.
You never know the truth, Joe. Whether that was just a play or not.
You know, I heard about it. I heard it was a thing. Like, they can get sick. I was like, okay, well, I'll just fucking do it. But somehow,
it's really riding that one out.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah,
I need a lawyer. I gotta just get some advice. Just call you.
You gotta call me in.
I'll call you in. You gotta talk to
You gotta get that call.
Yeah, gotta get it in there. Yeah, just. That's good though. That's good, man. Well, I don't know, Winston. I enjoyed the hell out of talking to both of you guys tonight. It was fun. I'm glad JD said this,
awesome.
because as soon as you showed interest in coming on here, I was like, I can get another singer-songwriter on here, but who?
Yeah,
JD.
That's great, man. It was great talking to both of y'all. I really appreciate it. It's cool.
Likewise, man. Good luck with everything. It sounds great. I hope it just keeps going for you.
Thank you, man. You too. I'll check you out right after we get off here. Check out your music. Yeah,
I appreciate it. Thanks.
It's good stuff, guys. You won't be disappointed. So,
Oh.
JD, I hope the family's well, my friend.
Likewise, man. Thanks for having me on. It was a pleasure and honor. Good to see you too.
Yeah, we'll do it again.
Kind of a nice little bonus after our last one. So.
Yeah, that last one was fun. This was fun too. It was really good. So.
And guys, before we go, thanks again for letting me talk about the pants thing. Apparently that's something I need to get out. And you guys were really supportive, and
I think we're going to do some good work for pistachio lovers everywhere as well. So.
Yeah,
so I hope for an endorsement deal.
And Heroes combined are going to be able to enjoy them in the future once we get that money to Jay-Z.
Yeah. Once they hear my story.
Yeah. We got a guy here that overcame a nut allergy and, dove for the pistachios barehanded.
Yeah, it's just a real
back in his
nut
mouth
story. Yeah. Yeah, man.
I hope I get an email tomorrow from Jay-Z's lawyer, and I'll say, well, you haven't met mine.
His name's JD.
Yeah, JD. He's a fucking animal.
Similar name, very different bank account.
You want to talk about closers? This guy's a fucking closer.
Yeah.
Take the last 2 minutes just for you, Winston. Just tell us where we can find your album online and how we can support you. Do you have vinyl? If you have vinyl, send me one.
Yeah, I don't have vinyl. I don't have vinyl yet. I would love to do something like that though. So definitely,
It's expensive, bro.
It is expensive, and I'm waiting to kind of. I'd like to do it kind of. I don't know. For I guess a project I really feel like sounds like it would be good on vinyl. You know what I mean? Like kind of like those lo-fi kind of vintage type of sounds. If I decided to do something like that, I might kind of throw that on there in vinyl. I want to make it sound good on vinyl, so I might do something like that. But yeah, to find the music, it's pretty much anywhere you get music: Spotify, Apple Music, iTunes, Tidal, Deezer, Pandora, iHeartRadio, all that stuff. So it's all on there. Then I have a website as well, which is just www.winstoncook.com. So it's Winston Cook, no E on Cook, .com. And yeah, you can pretty much find everything there, find all the links, all the social media links and whatnot. And yeah, that's the best way people can reach me. And yeah, stay tuned. I'm making more music as quick as I can.
He'll be signed by Jay-Z after this, so it'll all be fine.
That'd be great.
Just remember,
Jay-Z,
it was
JD the lawyer.
Yeah, me and JD helped that out, so I'll take Gravedigger. He wants an ocean house, and we'll be fine.
Yeah, we could start with Gravedigger because I support the stream pretty heavily. So,
oh yeah,
whatever's left over.
No, I'm not a selfish person. Give him the house first. I'll take JD after, or Gravedigger after JD gets his house.
Regardless, Jay-Z, thanks for watching.
Thank you, Jay-Z. You guys are such great supporters.
It's just I'm still honored. I'm blown away that he's tuning in. This is
Me
awesome.
too. It's wild.
Yeah, you too, Coulter. Yeah, man.
Yeah,
thanks, guys.
cool.
Just a shitload of redemption happening on the Limbocast this time. That's what it is.
Oh yeah. Yeah, man. That's all I got.
That's it. Me too.
That's my spiel. All right.
Thank you, fellas. Take care. All right. We'll do it again sometime.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Peace, guys.